Good, go bananas. Good, go bananas. Awesome. Look at that. What a beautiful dog. Awesome, huh? Look at that. Beautiful. Good, 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 good. Thank you all so much for watching. But see, but in this context, whenever he joins you at a heel, especially off leash or when leash is dropped, praise him with the good word theory, so he'll start going into those situations better. Yes, I'm very excited about this. I'm so thankful that he enrolled. He met with several other trainers and chose the right path, the Dog Messiah way.
For this I was born.
My name is ErwinValderramos, and I'm the Dog Messiah, lover of dogs and persons. Watch, I show
For
you.
this I came into the world.
I don't know where the hell, why the camera stopped, but okay, so he was growling at me. Twice. I don't know why the hell my camera just turned off. I did not turn it off. Good.
Lay down.
Unusual, huh? Is that the first time you've ever encountered that?
I usually when I go to Home Depot and stuff, people walk up, want to pet him.
Yeah, of course.
He's never growled.
He lets people pet him at Home Depot and stuff?
Yeah, he standoff. He doesn't really want it.
Okay.
He doesn't act aggressive or.
So he's a little standoffish.
Yes.
So he would rather not be pet by strangers. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
In fact, a lot of Corso owners, that's what they want. You have one dog from California right now who the parents just don't want the dog to be social at all.
If I'm not home, she goes to answer the door.
He's very protective.
They all three are. Nobody's
Okay.
getting in the house.
And you also mentioned that if your wife walks him, then he is a little more aggressive to strangers, correct?
Yes, and
Okay.
they actually told us at the vet for her to stop bringing them because with
Damn.
them, like, they can draw blood. Like, when they were drawing blood, they missed 6 or 7 times. He never flinched. Never
But with the wife,
growled or
he's
anything. With her,
okay.
she says they won't even let them examine her. You know,
Okay.
protecting her.
This is unbelievable. This is an amazing situation. I'm so thankful that you've enrolled. I have to be honest with you. So this is this is what I always talk about in my videos. A dog's confidence is based on the faith they have in their owner. So I don't mean this negatively, but he has more confidence in you than he does in your wife. And it may not even be in her or in you. It might be in he's more confident in your abilities, that you have the situation under control, than she does.
And
Do you see what I mean? So this is exactly what I'm talking about. That's why that's why you're saying that they can do evasive things to him, things that are potentially painful and uncomfortable, and he's chill. With your wife, he's a little less chill because he maybe just feels like he knows better than her.
And even if we go out in public, according to her, because of course I'm not there,
Yeah.
she does it, he acts perfect as long as I'm around.
That was gonna be my next question. So if you all three go out,
He's not near as protective or anything.
okay. And like I said, I was very impressed with the way I saw him walk from that corner over there in the grass on the side of the fence all the way in here. Very impressed. Is he the same with your wife if she walks him and there's nobody around or no dogs around?
She doesn't walk him too much.
Okay.
You know, she works from home or whatever.
Great.
She doesn't really walk him too much.
Okay.
But I don't think she's really had any problem. Like I said, she'll
Okay.
take him out in public some that
Yes, sir.
it's too big for her. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
he's a big boy.
He can't pull me down.
Yeah, he's beautiful. I mean, he's
Thank you.
very shiny. He's got a wonderful coat. He
Yeah,
seems to have a.
either tuna or sardine or something every night.
Does he really? Good for you.
He
Yeah.
gets about 3 scoops of Victor.
Awesome. Yeah.
He gets either sardines or tuna and then some kind of vegetable. Green beans, carrots.
Bless your
sweet
heart.
potato,
I love that.
pumpkin.
Yes. Listen, and that coat is unbelievably shiny, boy. This dog is looking really fantastic, looking good. And he still has those beautiful testicles, yes?
Yes.
Amazing. Okay, so I see that we're going to get to it then. Like I said, very, very impressed. Even, like, look at that, like, the way the dog seems to walk with Dad's cadence, I'm very impressed by. Okay, so, a couple of things, Dad. I noticed that you have a prong collar on him.
Yep.
Right? And you're doing a lot of things right. I'm gonna keep it real with you, yes? You're doing a lot of stuff right, man. You're doing a lot right. Amazing. Now this is where this could be potentially a problem. Dude, I just gotta keep it real. You're very good with the dog. You're very, very good. For real. That can be a problem because you might be good because you're habituated and set in your ways.
I'm open to
So
learn.
perfect. So we can't be married to any We can't be married to any one idea. But your handling is on point. So where it might get tricky is just because I imagine a dog doesn't get this good with their owner, especially a Corso. And I gotta keep it real, dude. I feel like this dog would be worse if you weren't his daddy. I feel like he would be major reactive. I feel like, dude, you got to give me goosebumps. You've done an amazing job. Bless your heart.
Thank you.
So that's gonna be the problem, is just that potentially of you just having to change your ways. Now, really quickly, if you haven't, I understand because it was short notice. But initially, when I was gonna come out to your home, we just thought it'd be better to get started immediately. I had to have faith in his handling. I was gonna go over basically the good word theory and the laws that I operate with. I sent you that video, yes? If you again, it's okay if you haven't, because it's short, or 10 to maybe an hour. When the video is about an hour long, have you had a chance to watch that video yet?
I watched some of that
Okay.
one, and now I watched the other one. You had big, I don't know, he was shaved, probably some kind of Caucasian Shepherd or something.
Yes, sir.
mostly
Yeah,
brown.
man, but like he just passed away. Like, yeah, he was the dog I would have normally brought. He literally just passed away like 2 weeks ago. I've been very down over it. You're my first class since that. Well, they're not gonna throw a football around. This is good.
Yeah.
So again, yeah, normally I would have brought him because he's very zen, very in control. So this is what and see, he's just watching. It doesn't seem to be, man, this dog is beautiful. Beautiful head on him, beautiful wrinkling, beautiful
Thank you.
everything, okay? Fantastic. All right. So if right then and there, as he was walking by and he was noticing that family that's gonna go play football, catch, what do you think do you think he was having unlovely thoughts as they were walking? I don't know him well enough to say, I think he was, do you see what I mean? I don't know him like that, and he'd have to be in my care for at least 3 weeks before I know him. So any trainer, I know you've met with several trainers before enrolling with me, and thank you for going with us. And a lot of trainers, they like to act like they already know everything. They know exactly what the dog is going to need. Dude, I don't know everything. I know how to get to the destination. I just may not know the path there yet.
Right,
Hell, gotta be honest with you, completely threw me for a loop right now when I see how, just for real, completely threw me for a loop, yeah? Dude, we're gonna be there so quick. We're gonna be there so quick. This is gonna work effortlessly for you. And I had an attorney that enrolled with a dog that was skittish. He did the private lessons, no more issues, basically under control. Another gentleman, you can see his video here with classes where, in fact, that Caucasian Ovechka that you were talking about, I brought him out here. He had a pit bull that was very reactive. Very difficult dog to train. Got it under control through the private lessons. And you seem very capable. Now, both of those gentlemen, the attorney and Puerto Rican Chris, are very capable, but you're doing that there. So before I digressed, I was asking you, as they were walking past, do you think he was having unlovely thoughts?
No, he is extremely curious, and like I said, he still acts like a puppy where he
Yes, he
wants
does.
to play.
Yep.
But he is more skittish and scared.
So
of
right now he's
things.
watching them. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I need to catch this. So right now he's watching them. Do you think he wants to go over there and play with them, engage, talk about? Why do you think he's watching them?
He probably wants to play, but is scared to. He's not gonna go over there,
Okay.
especially without me. I could take him off leash.
And his radius is small.
10 feet away from me or so. But I'm gonna say hi. Good boy. Good boy, Dexter.
Okay, pull him back, please. Don't turn. Yeah, pull him back. Okay. Yeah. The reason I said pull him back is because a lot of times they're pulling there, either the dog will start to pull closer to me, and then when that collar nips at them, it pisses them off.
No, he's
Not with him.
reacting to the collar.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
When I walk him, I don't, trigger, I
Jesus
can just barely touch
Christ!
it.
Will you just keep look at that chest? This is a listen. This is a beautiful fucking dog.
Smile for the camera.
Hey, magnificent animal, beautiful, dude. Oh my God! All right, awesome. You're doing a lot good. Okay, so let's start off with the very first thing that I'm gonna want you to change temporarily. Okay, a lot of the things that I'm gonna do are temporarily. So you know why I was making an emphasis? I was emphasizing what is happening there in this context when he's looking over there in their direction. So from now on, again, I'd have to have him with me for 3 weeks before I knew one way or the other what he's thinking.
Right.
But I'm gonna go with that he was having less than lovely thoughts. Do you know why? Because when I asked you why do you think he's watching them, is he curious? I think he's curious about me. I think he's open to me interacting with him, but as far as them are concerned, he may not, he's curious, but he might be a little bit more nervous about it than not. You even said it, if you were to cut him off leash, he wouldn't go over there unless you go over there with him.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So what I want you to start doing is, please, whenever you're in public for the next several weeks, if he encounters a pedestrian, a dog, or encounters anything that he's watching, see how he's looking at them right now? Please don't pet him.
Okay.
Because if he's having an unlovely thought, which I would assume whatever thought he's having is not a happy, positive one, like, oh my God, I want to go over there and play. Okay. At the very least, his tail isn't wagging. He doesn't look like he just wants to go say hi. At the very least, yes? Yeah. So because of that, I want you to understand something. If you're petting him, whatever thought he is having, feeling or thought he is having, while you're reinforcing it. Even if you're talking to him, telling him, it's okay, baby, calm down, there's nothing wrong, they're friends, they're friendly, they're not here to hurt you. All of that stuff is just reinforcing whatever thought he is having. Right. And he starts to feel as if you're also having those thoughts, and that's why you're, yeah, you're both shivering in the rain, which you're not. Do you see what I mean? So that's the very first thing. Okay. The second thing, and you don't do this very much, is I want you to drop all commands. So please, until further notice, we're going to be meeting every week. Please, until further notice, no more commands. Okay. I don't want you to ask him to sit, lay down, heel, none of that. This is very important. Okay. Now, I mentioned that video earlier. Please watch that video by our next class, because that video is exactly what I was going to go over today at home. Okay. It's just teaching you guys about the law, the good word theory. Please follow that to a T. I'm going to explain it for you. I'm going to put a link in the description and maybe in the comments of that video so anybody can watch it. But that video is the coin of heaven. That is the key to tremendous success. Okay? Okay. Very good. The other thing, when I meant about not issuing commands, that also includes the word NO. Okay. Okay? Please, what is his name? Dexter. Perfect, good name. If you're out there and you have a new Canecorso puppy, you need to refrain from naming that dog something like Poe, Noah, because then you don't really want to, if you want to name your dog that, you don't want to use the word no because it sounds too much like that. Dexter is a very good, interesting name. I don't think I've ever trained a Dexter Canecorso, so fantastic. So that includes not saying the word NO. Okay. So I want you to drop everything from him. The only thing that I want you and your wife to do with him starting now is what I call the good word theory, and the video is going to go into more detail about this. But very simply, what I want you to do is, if you happen to notice him do a behavior like sitting or laying down or going to his bed or going into his kennel without being prompted by you and your wife, I want you to look at him, nod your head lovingly, and say the word good followed by whatever word is associated with his action. Right. So if he were to lay down right now, I would allow it if I were you. Because laying down right now is a sign of comfort. Because they're just straight, no, but you were about to ask him, yes? See, you just made your first mistake. Remember what I said in the beginning? We're going to have to get you away from your old habits. I don't want you to ask him to lay down. In fact, asking him to lay down is counterproductive to our goals. Because you're making him feel as if he needs to be submissive and potentially worried. And see, even now, no. So you're doing exactly what I said. So you're doing it.
Get his attention because he doesn't like his ears usually.
Huh?
He doesn't really usually like people messing with the ears. He kind of like do that.
But remember all of that right there, you're just reinforcing whatever unlovely thought he's having about that family. So remember what I said. So at the moment, touching him is inappropriate. Asking him to do something is inappropriate. So both of the things that you just did right now have to cease. They have to go away. If he's not paying attention, he's not. So it's okay for him to be looking away. He's not standing up. He's not being a nuisance to you. So the first thing that we want to do, well, one of the first things we want to do, or we want to pick our battles, especially if he doesn't like his ears being messed with very much, but didn't seem like he took too much umbrage with it while you were doing it. Especially in those situations, and see, like right now, you see how he stood up? Don't pet him, but instead what I want you to do is pull him facing me again and then apply pressure without saying anything. And when good sit. Very good. And very good. Good job, sir. And so the third thing I want you to change is we're not going to say the word boy, the dog, anymore. We're just going to say, either we say the word good, 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 we chant it, or say the word good by itself, or good sit, good down, good in whatever behavior he's doing.
Okay.
So right now in this context, him laying down, I would allow it. Conversely, if I felt like he was being nervous and submissive around me, which I don't think so, I think he's okay with me at the moment. I think he's more nervous about them, more nervous about this person than he is me. And so, and if he was nervous or scared, then and he lay down, I would prompt him back into the sit. But in this context, again, laying down. But look at he's even shivering now. He's not cold. There is a little breeze, but look, you see the shivering?
So do I turn him around here?
No, sir.
Or leave him alone?
Yes, sir. So, and I tell you the truth, even looking at him is a reward. So you know what I do in this context? Man, this was the perfect spot because we're getting all of it. Yeah, this worked out really good for us. Yes. You see, he's even turned around because he's almost like no different than if you had a Ring camera and you happen to see somebody walking in front of your neighborhood and you see them walking in front of your door and you don't keep staring at the camera. That implies you're not worried. But if they walk past your door and you start watching the camera, making sure they don't walk past, that implies that there's a little bit of worry. Yes. So he's Ring cameraing it right now. He's watching that Ring camera. Look how he turned completely away.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? So in the future, sir, not today, because I want to observe this behavior, and there's a lot going on over there in this read. But look, the shivering stopped once the guy was further away from us. But when he was still unsure what the child was going to do, what the kid was going to do, he's shivering. But may I tell you, the only reason he didn't choose to like run off or run towards them is because your handling is unbelievable. He has tremendous faith over you. So I want you to understand something. The shivering that he just did in that down is a goal for a lot of my customers. You're there already. You see what I'm talking about? Dude, they would be thrilled if all the dog did was lay down and maybe just, because the shivering doesn't even mean that he's scared. I think in this case, it does imply a little bit of his nerves getting to him, getting the better of him, okay? You know, the people have a nervous stomach.
Yeah.
Dogs can have that too, okay? So not now because I want to watch this, but from here on out, so not now, please, don't do this motion now. Whenever you're in this situation and he is watching people from afar like he's doing now, if you're facing them and he's watching them, allow it, just because that's just the way things are. If they stopped in front of us and they were here and he was facing us, just allow it. But if you're stopped facing in one direction and he turns his whole body to face other people, there's no need to be worried or nervous about them if you're not. He needs to feel after you. So what you would do is, if he's sitting or laying down, you would touch him in between the eye and the ear, tap him just like that with your forefinger, just tap him, and then move forward a few steps. So every time he looks over, if he just glances over but he keeps his body. So again, if he is sitting and he's got his head turned watching them, you allow that. You pick that battle. But if he is sitting and instead of turning his head he turns his whole body like he did now, that is disallowed.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean? So if he were laying down in the position that he was in initially, but had his head turned looking, that's perfectly all right. Because see, in this context, him turning around, he's preparing for the worst. He might be hoping for the best, but he's preparing for the worst. Because he's completely disinterested in me, and he's just seeing what's going on over there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and just say there's a little bit of nervousness there.
Yeah.
Okay? And yeah, you see how he's watching everything? Now, again, I'm completely wrong about this assessment if you think cutting him off the leash is going to make him run over there and play ball with everybody. Then that dog is looking because he's anxious to play. You know, just like a little kid looking at other kids on the playground, wants to go over there and play. That's not him, right? You're thinking he's just anxious about them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good up sit. So good. And I've noticed good sit. You did that beautifully. So from now on, if he's ever prone, you know, laying down, and he pops up, I want you to say good up sit.
Okay.
That way that could be a command that he starts to learn.
Yeah.
If he lays down, you say good down. If he lays down and he's down and he's not a fearful down, allow it. If he lays down and somebody is shivering, allow it, but ignore it. Indeed, even looking at him, looking at your dog is going to be a reward. The visual, no different than if you have a kid at the playground set and they're swinging and they want, Mom, you weren't watching me. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Just being watched. damn, just being watched on YouTube is a reward. You see what I mean? Just being watched. So keep that in mind, that it even applies to dogs. Just looking at them, watching them makes a difference. Do you see what I mean? So, you know, I've gotten really good. I'm very good at seeing what a dog is doing out of my peripheral vision. So right now, when he started moving around and you looked obviously down at him, you'll see it when you watch this video. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't let any of his actions or movements make it obvious to him that he's influencing me. Because keep in mind, there's a correlation, there's a dance there. He started kind of looking around because there's more activity here than typically is, I'll be honest with you. He's looking around and you immediately started looking down at him to watch him. Right. So that becomes praise and affection, and he's very likely aware that you looked at him.
Okay.
Again, looking at me, oh, you're drawing me attention. You know how they say no negative attention. All attention is good attention. I know I'm driving that point home, but we really have to get into the psychology of the dog, because that is what's going to change everything.
Right.
Dude, as far as like handling, I think that if you already understood the psychology, you wouldn't even need my help. And keep in mind, I do phone consultations. They're $30 an hour. They're an awesome way of getting it. I do more phone consultations with other dog trainers around the country than I do with civilians. Okay. Because they're wanting to know about the theories. They're wanting to understand the psychology of the dog. It's what it is. Right. Teaching a dog to sit, heel, stay down doesn't stop any problem. In fact, you're a testament to that. Your dog is extremely well, I'm going to go ahead and say well trained on the leash. I'm very impressed. Thank you. But you're still having reactivity issues, or you started, you see what I mean? Yeah. So teaching a dog how to do obedience is no different than teaching somebody how to read or math. They could still be an educated asshole. And you did right, because you're starting to, you want to prevent this. And it just started recently, yes? Yes. Being reactive at Home Depot. Okay. So there's a lot going on, which is, I guess, good. I wonder if there's a meeting or something happening here. There's a whole lot of extra cars. If somebody comes and uses the basketball court, we'll go out there. But I wanted to come here because it did start raining 30 minutes before we met, even though it was supposed to. But we can leave this if they come to play basketball, but it doesn't seem like it. So this is working out for us in our favor. So you see, like right now, how he's watching this family come in here too? Right. No petting him or any of that. Okay. Okay? Now, if you feel as if he's starting to relax, like let's say his little nub starts wagging and it looks like he's obviously excited about a stranger, yeah, then I want you to look at him, pet him, okay, touch him, chant the word good, 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 good as you're petting him. Do you see what I mean? So you start to build that rapport. I'm hoping that eventually, in time, since we have several classes we're going to meet for, by the time he sees me coming, I'm going to be one of those people he's excited to see. Yeah. Sure. Do you understand what I mean? So then we start praising him and petting him when you know he's having lovely thoughts or happy thoughts. Okay. Okay. So the next thing that I want to do, and again, you have the power of veto. So see there, I would apply pressure. Good job. And you know, in this context, because he moved, oh, good job, Dad. Perfect, dude. Perfect, dude. So perfect. So may I tell you, the first thing that you did where you sat him down, that is a good amateur move. Good job. Impressive. But doing that turn, that clockwise rotation, that is a professional move. So cut out the amateur one, because you're professional level. As long as you're doing good already. So he stands up, and if he were to just stand up but stay kind of in that position, then apply the bite until he sits back down. Right. But if he stands up and crosses your path or moves from that kind of position, then do the whole rotation. Okay. Very quickly, and getting him into that sit. You see what I mean? I even noticed, I didn't have it on film, I wasn't filming, I was shocked. I even noticed when you walked over here and you came to a stop there, he sat down. Then when I pointed for you to go inside the thing, when you stood up, he went around your back. That's beautiful. Beautiful.
A lot of times I have to give him just a little bit of pressure, but I usually keep him on this side.
Yeah, man, you're doing great.
Sometimes he'll go this way, big.
Perfect.
If nothing else, just a little bit of pressure. Perfect.
Perfect. Okay. So this is what I was saying about the power of veto. So you have a prong collar on him, and you have the leash. And you know, when you text me if he was going to be meeting other dogs today, I thought you were asking because you were going to change what kind of collar you typically use. That's why I was asking.
At
so
home, he goes bareback and
everywhere else on that collar, yes? So this is going to be my recommendation. You don't necessarily have to take it because you're kind of far enough along, but I'll explain why if you already don't know. But you see the prong collar that you have on him? So that is the appropriate size for him. It is so it doesn't matter if I have a Corso his size or even larger than him. So I don't use that size training collar. I just got these from Tractor Supply. Look how thin these are.
Okay.
This is like one for a poodle.
Right.
For a small dog. In fact, just one, that's why I have two of them. One collar is not going to fit his neck. You're going to need to take links from another one to increase it so that it fits and it works on him, right? So if I were you, I would switch over to not only a smaller, thinner collar, but a thinner leash that is still 6 foot.
Okay.
Now the reason for this is because if you want to have him to be very proficient for you off the leash, which I think is a goal you'll get to very quickly, using lightweight equipment is the goal, is the way there, right?
He acts extremely well off leash too.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I figured that's the case. So
he has that collar on, he does act better, you know.
Okay.
You know, it's like if we were just walking around my parents' backyard, he'd probably give me a little bit more space or something. But yeah, as long as I put the collar on, take the leash off, and
okay.
I tell him come back, he will.
It looks a little loose. So again, my recommendation would be to go down into a thinner collar altogether.
Okay.
Just to have, you'll have way more control. These collars work a little bit better for him as well, believe it or not. In fact, as well as if we ever have to go through the throw chains, the sound that chain is making is going to interfere with some of his progress. That's what I would recommend, but you don't have to do it. If we were starting, and let me put it to this way, if he wasn't as well conditioned and trained as you got him now, there wouldn't be an option. I would be telling you, save the money up if you need to, but get one of these ASAP, right? So you can put it on him. It does look a little loose on him, but again, because you're having success, I say roll with it. But two things to consider would be maybe removing a link from it.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know what that would be. If it's too tight, then no.
You take the smaller one's better.
Oh man, by far.
Okay.
I'm gonna be on by a tremendous amount.
Okay.
You're gonna get to he's gonna be more confident. You're gonna get to off-leash results and off-leash behavior much faster than with that heavy collar.
Okay.
I tell you the truth, yes. In fact, I wanna go ahead and I stopped talking. Did he huff? Did he bark? So see there, look, he's defensive there. Perfect tight spin, Dad. Facing me. Perfect tight spin, Dad. No, he's perfect, Dad. Perfect. Beautiful movements. And dude, your timing on that is amazing. So look how he's got his head changed, that's fine. But he moved his whole body, so you did right.
Yeah.
So you gotta make him,
I told you I'm here to learn from you, man.
you're doing great. There's something, you know, sometimes you can drop all the puzzle pieces right in my lap and I'm too stupid to put it together. But I'm figuring something out here. They're having an event here for the children. Somebody please think about the children. Look, there you go. Did you see how this is a very good, perfect, Dad. Man, your natural perfect movements are very good. Perfect. All right. We're gonna go ahead and put these on him just for this class, and then we'll take it from there. So I'll come back after this. Good power. We put that on him. I don't have enough hands, but if I would have recorded the interaction right now when he was putting that collar on him, you would have been just as impressed as I am. Yes. So this is a good example of a dog that it's just extremely well trained by the owner. So I want you to understand, you are the operant power. You can do it. This dog really just needs the psychology, and that's what we're going to be doing with Dad. So right now I'm going to be going over just basic good. I'm going to go over basic leash handling with him. Okay, we're going to go over just some of the basics. Number one, from now on, touch is a release. So if you don't touch him, he is not supposed to move.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean? So starting off with the touch, because we're going to go nonverbal, and the reason that we're going to go nonverbal is so that he has to pay more attention to you. You know, when I was at the Canine Academy and we were teaching the dog to heel, which means for the dog to walk typically at your left-hand side, come to a stop when you sit, I was told that as I'm going to make a turn, start patting my left leg to announce the fact that I'm going to make the turn. And as I make the turn, say the command, issue the command again, heel, as I make the turn. And I did that for a long time.
Okay.
But it's not a good idea.
Right, because like him, he depends on either the collar or my word. He'll walk with me.
There you go.
If I take off to the right, it may be a few seconds before he realizes it. Because he depends on me.
Amen.
Or say something.
There you go. So you become the GPS for him, which means he doesn't have to pay that much attention.
Right.
So we need him to pay more attention to you than anything else that's going on. And as we've been here, the activity has increased, but his comfort level has also increased, in my opinion, because he's not turning over there to look at them. So this is important, okay, Dad? I want you to try to avoid situations right now around other dogs, please, because the dogs, there is a reactivity issue, and it's why you called me. So please, if you think typically at this time when I walk him I encounter other dogs, don't go at that time.
Right.
Don't even walk him if you think that's going to be the case. But ideally, whenever you do train with him, you want to train with him in situations where there's a lot of activity going on. Dude, listen, I got to be honest with you. I'll stop at like parking lots of grocery stores when I have a dog in tow. I'll do impromptu training sessions. I'll just stop, especially like if I have a dog that needs the exposure to people and dogs, I'll stop wherever there's a lot of activity going on and do a 3 to 5 minute training session. Okay. So you want to keep your training sessions to about 3 to 8 minutes long. And ideally you want to try to do 3 training sessions a day. Again, 3 to 8 minutes long. Okay. And training sessions meaning on the leash and collar, ending with the command to be at ease, which will be go bananas. Okay? Whenever you tell him to go bananas, please refrain from obviously giving him more commands, which we're not going to be doing this week, but refrain from enforcing your will. Let him make it for about 3 to 5 minutes. Meaning if you see he's interested in a fire hydrant or something, walk over there to it. Allow him some decision making in that context. Okay. If he does an SIT, don't put him in the SIT. Okay. After you tell him to go bananas, 3 to 5 minutes, so he understands that he's at ease. Okay? Very good. So starting off with your training sessions, like I said, they want to be about 3 to 8 minutes long. Whenever you're training with him, it is important that you don't glance around and pay attention to what's going on around you. Whenever you're training with him, whenever you're with him, keep in mind that he is learning when you are with him, whether you intend to teach him or not. So whenever you are with him, it is imperative that you're not scanning yourself. Because if you're scanning at every sound, every car that comes by, everything that happens, he's thinking that you're worried. Right. And then you're going to get what I call bobblehead syndrome. Your dog is going to be looking around at everything too. So this is why I was saying to you earlier that I've gotten really good at using my peripheral vision to not make it obvious that I'm also paying attention. I can see what's happening over there right now to my peripheral vision without making it obvious to the dog. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. Now, if let's say that there was somebody that's looking a little off and makes me feel some kind of way as they're approaching me, I'm going to stop looking at them and maybe even turn my body towards them. The dog will do the same and start feeling after you. And then if the dog starts to get a little bit pumped up, it's appropriate because I'm getting a little pumped up. Right. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. You get what I mean about feeling after you. Yeah. But if I'm feeling no kind of way, no threat, no weirdness, I'm not going to change the way that I'm behaving. Because we can't talk to him to fix him and to work on his psychology. We have to show him through our actions. And if I'm not nervous, you shouldn't be nervous either. If I'm nervous, then you should be a little nervous too. Okay. Do you see what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. And no different than if somebody trying to break into your house at midnight, you're going to be a little nervous, but you're still going to get up and dance. Do you see the same thing with the dog? Again, courage is not the lack of fear, it's the willingness to persist despite that fear and anxiety. Right. Do you see what I mean? So in a weird way, earlier when he was shivering as that child walked by, ridiculous that he's shivering over a child, but still kind of cool that he had the courage to sit there and not run off. You know what I mean? Or not pull you back, yank you back to get away. Yeah. So good stuff, yes? So you've done already a lot of good. So we're going to start every training session, and you're going to, from now on, make sure, and you're already doing this, keeping him at your left-hand side, okay? So what I want you to do is, we're going to start off, you're going to touch him in between the eye and the ear, and then you're going to start walking forward. If I ask you to turn to the right, I mean a sharp 90-degree turn to the right. If I ask you to turn to the left, I mean a sharp 90-degree turn to your left. If I ask you to turn, meaning not just to say the word turn, it means for you to turn 180 degrees in the opposite direction in a clockwise fashion.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean by that?
Gotcha.
I'm going to try to trip you up on purpose. Now, this is important. You're going to want to ping him.
Right.
So if you're walking, so let's say that you touch him and you start to walk, and the moment you touch him, you start to walk, he starts to walk with you, you're going to ping him by saying, good heel.
Okay.
If you're walking, I want you to try to catch him off guard. I'm going to try to catch you off guard because I'm going to be dictating to you. But when you're training with him normally on your own, again, you tune out the rest of the world. It's just you and him.
Yeah.
And you're going to work with him. If you want to catch him off guard. So if you think that he's not paying attention, that's when you want to turn to the right or to the left. If he doesn't turn with you, you're going to give him what I call a nip. A nip is just a quick little pop on that leash. A bite is a pull on the leash that is sustained until he sits.
Okay.
So in the context of walking, a nip is not a correction or a punishment. It is a reminder, reinforcing. In the context of in the context of healing, when you come to a stop, if he doesn't put his butt on the ground, which is he's supposed to do, a nip would be conveyed to him as a punishment and a correction. So in that context, when you come to a stop, if he doesn't go into an SIT, you're going to bite him, which you're already doing.
Right.
Whenever he's gotten up and you're getting him to sit, you're not nipping him, you're biting him, and you're letting go of the pressure when his butt touches the ground.
Yeah.
That's the difference. So in that context, the bite is a reminder, not a correction. In the future, we're going to move to you nipping him, which is punishing him for not sitting at the end of a walk. But we're at least a week away from that.
So when I release him here in a minute, am I going to say go bananas or just touch
No,
him?
so you're not going to release him. So you're not going to release him until the end of this. You're going to tap him in between the eye and the ear, then you're going to start walking, and I'm going to dictate to you where I want you to go.
Okay.
So when you
Just
turn,
follow me kind of, and
you're allowed to
go
move.
bananas
Yes,
and
sir.
Do what you want.
Yes, sir, exactly. So if you were to tell him to go bananas right now, we wouldn't train with him for the next few minutes.
Right.
So you're going to touch him and you're going to start walking, and if you turn and he doesn't turn with you, you're going to give him a quick nip. You're not going to say the word NO. Now conversely, if you turn and he turns with you, you're going to ping him. You know, you're going to take sugar or salt. You don't turn with me, nip. That's the salt. You turn with me, I'm going to give you some sugar, which is saying the word good. Good heel or good, good, good. Or just good.
Okay.
So you're going to ping him either way. You turn and he turns with you, good. Good heel. You turn and he doesn't turn with you, you nip him.
Gotcha.
The only thing you're going to be saying is the word good, yes?
Yep.
When you come to a stop, do not pet him. If you were to pet him right now and he stood up, you have to let him make it for a few seconds, because touch from now on is a release. Okay? Touch him in between the eye and the ear and start to walk forward, please. Good. Good, 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 good. Turn to the right. Good. Good. Turn to the left. Oh, awesome, dude. Turn to the left. Very good. Turn to the left. Perfect, Dad. Good handling. Turn to the right. Perfect. Turn to the right. Good. Turn to the right. Turn to the left. That's amazing. Left. Turn. Oh, come. So that was an about turn, which is amazing, but I want you to turn all the way to your right. Turn. Perfect. Now come towards me, please. Left. Slow down. Come to a stop. Okay. So you got his attention. You see how he's like hopping up and down, like, what the hell are you doing? Like, I love that. Good stuff. Got goosebumps. Good stuff, dude. All right. You did an about turn, so you already spoiled it. So we're gonna have to go ahead and do it. Add it to our repertoire. Okay.
All right.
And I'm seriously impressed with your handling. I don't know that I'm gonna count this towards our classes. I'm very impressed. Yes. I think we're still gonna. I'm not gonna count this one towards your 4-class program.
Okay.
All right. This is amazing. You're doing good. Your handling is good too. You're picking up quickly. So, and I want to make sure we get where you need to get. So, we're gonna add an about turn. So you see there? Perfect, sir. Perfect. 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 Facing up. Perfect. 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 I love that. Perfect. All the decisions, man. Exactly the decisions I would make. All of them. Beautiful. Beautiful. You deserve it. You're welcome. Wow. Okay. So an about turn is going to be you turning 180 degrees to your left, meaning you have to turn with, so if this is the dog and I'm walking and I'm doing an about turn, I'm turning like this, so the dog has to come around me.
Okay.
A regular turn is you turning 180 degrees to the right and the dog just kind of like the clockwise turns that you're doing.
Right.
So this is counterclockwise into the dog.
Okay.
You got that?
Yep.
Most people fail the first time. Touch him, start to walk forward and do an about turn when you're ready, please. Okay, see, most people fail the first time. Come to the right, please. Come towards me. Come towards me. Slow down. Come to a stop. Dude, he even like tried to nip at your knee. So you're like, dude, stop fucking with me. That's what you want, yeah? So these classes need to be like this for 3 to 8 minutes. So much so that you're so intense about it that he's not worried about all the other shit that's going on around him.
Okay.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And you don't have to be angry. That intensity came out right there just with you turning, catching him off guard. Just fucking with me, yeah? So he's like, dude, what the hell? Right? He's focused on you, yes?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, you failed that about turn.
Okay.
Because you made a left U-turn. Meaning you turned to the left, but you turned to the left with the dog staying like this. So an about turn is going to be the dog is here. You're turning like this, so the dog has to come around you.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay? Touch him, you're gonna come towards me and about turn, please. Make your about turn. You did, you nailed it, dude. You nailed it. You nailed it, make a regular turn now. You nailed it, dude, you nailed it. Slow down, come to a stop. Power.
Good shit.
Perfect, you didn't touch him. So now I want you to walk around him, keeping the leash kind of your hand like where you're at there, kind of above his head with slack. You're gonna walk around him counterclockwise. If he stands up, you're gonna bite him without saying the word no or anything, yes? Keep the leash in your hands and walk around him, please.
This way?
No, counterclockwise. Yeah, and I would have kept the leash the way you had it, you see? Because if he gets up, you're gonna apply pressure. Walk around him, apply pressure. Perfect, apply pressure, perfect. Perfect, Dad. Dude, you're doing just so many things right. I don't know if you've been watching a lot of my videos. I hope so, very good. Apply pressure. Stand nice and tight around him. Right next to him. Pause for a few seconds. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Right next to him. Good job. Oh, apply pressure. Good job, Dad. You're doing great. You're doing great. Very good. Perfect. Right next to him. Stop right there. Stop. Good job. Now touch him and walk a few feet and come to a stop. Slow down. Come to a stop. Perfect. Oh, perfect on your end. He messed up, but you're handling him right. He's just getting nervous. He's getting nervous. That's okay. Now, walk around him tight counterclockwise circle. If he stands up, you're going to apply pressure. Perfect. Soft pressure. Good job. Perfect. Right next to him. Perfect. Stop there. Step back into him. With him at your left. Perfect. Touch him. You're going to turn to the left. Walk forward. Perfect. Turn to the right. Make an about turn. That's a regular turn, but you nailed it still. Make an about turn now. That's a left turn. Oh, that's an about turn. Very good. Very good. Come towards me, please. Slow down. Come to a stop. Walk around him nice and tight without touching him. Good job. Good, good, good. Stand right next to him. Good. You're going to stop with him at your left. Stop right there. Pause for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Now you did amazing. The dog is he's just anxious to be next to you. So again, be still and know that you were in control, yes? He stands up, you apply pressure. Another thing that you did that most people don't do, which is perfect, is you tried to keep on walking every time he rose. So if you're out there watching and you're trying to learn, it is imperative, if you have a smart dog, that if the dog rises during the stay, you don't stop walking. If you stop walking and the smart dog sees it, they'll realize that they can control you and manipulate you, and they'll start playing musical chairs with you. You'll start standing up, so you'll stop walking. Bravo, Dad. So you're going to take your right hand with these 2 fingers here. You're going to reach across his chest, underneath his chin, like this. And you're going to touch his left shoulder blade. You're going to swipe it down, swipe, and you're going to say, go bananas. And then afterwards, you're going to start petting him, and you're going to let him walk over there and sniff wherever he's curious, yes? And then he's going to be at ease for a few minutes. Go ahead and do it now, please. Good, go bananas. Good, go bananas. Awesome. Look at that. What a beautiful dog. Awesome, huh? Look at that. Beautiful. Good, 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 good. Thank you all so much for watching. But see, but in this context, whenever he joins you at a heel, especially off leash or when leash is dropped, praise him. with the good word theory, so he'll start going into those situations better. Yes, I'm very excited about this. I'm so thankful that he enrolled. He met with several other trainers and chose the right path, the Dog Messiah way. Look at that. Good. Perfect. Thank you all so much for watching, especially since you stuck around until the very end. Unbelievable. If you haven't already, please do subscribe and paw the bell so you'll be notified when I upload the next video. I'm most excited about these training sessions. You're going to learn a lot if you watch this and apply the stuff that I'm telling Dad, and you click the link in the description for that video, which is the coin of heaven indeed. Bless you all. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Pow.